Kuvira, why not? So the argument here is, again, I'm not sure what the argument here is. She was able to build an army. She was able to conquer most. She was able to conquer all of the Earth Kingdom and Republic City. Like this is before we even get the mech. Her influence was strong. She had a purpose, or she had an intent first off, and then it just fell by the wayside because she simply went crazy and like went full dictatorship, full fascist, and that's how it typically works when you have a group like the Red Lotus just coming to try to end everything. Which they actually, I like this group a lot. I'll be honest. Like they stood on business. Um, if you want to just speak on specific skills, I need you to understand fully understand. Kuvira, by all metrics, on paper, it shouldn't be a fight. However, in my opinion, she has like prime Toph level like aura. Like she's clearly demonstrated to be this generation's like absolute alpha, like unprecedented. I can go through all the clips, but I don't want to make this more than 10 minutes. But I can go through all the clips. But from the bandits to her first fight with Korra, all of it, it's clearly a different level. The argument I've seen is, well, she didn't want to fight Toph. I'm like, okay, uh, that scene, I don't think you were paying attention. It's not that she didn't want to fight them. It's A, respect, yes, but B, the army was now discombobulated and they made a great escape. One person is not going to be able to catch multiple advanced level metal benders plus the avatar plus friends. Like that's just not how it would work. An escape was probably likely there, and obviously for plot, you want to let some tension build up. Um, Two, I'm sorry to tell you, but Top is old at that point. So like Top, in my opinion, old Top is definitely not beating Kuvira by any means. I mean, like any means. Old Top is just not beating old Kuvira. We like to hold on to our legacy characters, but the way Kuvira fights is just not going to be. That's not favorable for Toph. And two, like Toph's, I mean, sorry, Kuvira's fighting style is just so modern, right? Aang is used to dealing with Daily agents, which are, the assassin type, stealth type. Brother, Kuvira hit, like, I need you to understand. Aang has no counter to metal bending. Oh, he can just take the bending away. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, he's gonna start with that. He's not. Two, do you see how agile and quick Kuvira is? Like, we are looking at two different shows. I'm not even going to get to why the main reason, but it's just like you understand this chick is so fast, so agile. Like she is, she has, from a combat perspective, one of the most like intrinsic, so not intrinsic, innovative bags I've ever seen. The fluidity and mixture of metal, liquid metal bending, regular metal bending, and like the sword. Like she's not conventional by any means. This is not a fighting style that any bender is simply going to be able to adapt to that quickly. Like I'm stepping away from power to power. She's demonstrated all of this stuff. She's demonstrated power, like she's demonstrated fluidity, she's demonstrated adaptability. Yes, all her fight scenes take place in advantage for her, but guess what? This is against the Avatar, so they should have that. That shouldn't be a factor. There should be no excuse. Also, um, and then let's just get right into it. Korra, fully out of poison. She could have chosen to use the Avatar state, sure, but the Avatar state was for use for something different. So we'll do this fight, just the baseline of their abilities. Kuvira went toe to toe against a much more motivated Korra. Now we can get into the semantics of like their bending, sorry, the earth bending disparity, and we can get into Korra's disparity with Aang's abilities. But I want to tell you something right now. So Korra, this is how this is just a crazy thing to not understand. Korra, who just learned metal bending, chose not to interact with all the metal on Kuvira's body. She only was able to like interact with Kuvira's. She was surprised. Sorry, Kuvira was surprised by Korra's ability to metal bend the liquid metal back as fast as she did. Prodigy, of course. But Korra said, "Let me not overstep. Let me fight her on the path." She used 4 different abilities. She used fire, wind, and metal. Well, sorry, 3. Fire, wind, earth slash metal. And water, could water have been a deciding factor? Yes, absolutely. Water bending is broken. She chose not to do it until the very end. Now, what I'm sorry, Aang fans. What is he going to do about the mech? Like, there has been not a single person, there is no lore, there's no nothing. He has no counter to the mech. I need you to understand, Korra. Oh well, she didn't have her past lives to tell her how to do it. None of these people had to deal. Well, some of them had to deal with the brother spirits. Okay, so those like Avatar state level beings, but none of them had to deal with something like this. Platinum. So even the metal bending avatars couldn't deal with it. Korra could not deal with it. She also used the avatar state. The best it could do was stall it. And then for plot reasons, they didn't give the mech any like secondary defense weapons. Like they this is it was it taller than Unavatu and Cosmic Core? It was likely a little bit taller than Core Cosmic Core Unavatu. It's not stronger than those two by any means. So sure, if Aang can get into something like that, sure. But Avatar state or not, regular Core had no chance against that mech. I'm sorry, he doesn't have a counter. He just does not have a counter. He has to get inside of it. Like just destroying it is not going to be possible unless he can access the full scope of his chi and energy bending abilities, which I haven't seen him do yet. I don't think he has a counter to the mech. And to say he can take her bending away, sure, like 1v1, I think he would be able to win this. I think it would be extremely difficult for him because he has no counter to metal bending. He has to get close to her, and she's so agile. I don't understand, brother. Him and his pacifist nature is going to just override all of what she can do. Does he have cosmic sense to censor? Does he have like the water bending is going to be his best asset here, and it has to be in a you like she faced an avatar with fire, air, and metal slash earth. Those did not seal the deal. It was at best like I think Korra maybe was slightly stronger, slightly than Kuvira at the time, but like still, that's you saw how close that was. One element fully mastered. I'm sorry, she's giving Aang fits, serious fits. But we're moving on from him because it's crazy the disrespect put on these characters. Absolutely crazy. Like these are I'm sorry, if Aang had to deal with this, I'm just throw this out there, he would lose his mind. Like the world would just be over. Like he would have to get called the coiled spirit, fused with that, because this is too much. If you're telling me now, let me just go to this group on the left here. Absolutely terrorize him. They waited until he was gone to get court. Oh my god. Okay. Let's leave out some context. This guy was no longer a part of that group anymore. This guy did not have access to flight or any bending. They're probably less experienced, younger. They lost. Okay, they have a loss on record. Good job. He was defeated beforehand. Good job. Multiple separate factors in place. Good job. You know what they still did? They completed their mission. Like, in a world more advanced, in a world far more prepared for these people. Like, you understand, these people were prepared. They trapped them in all types of cages. They were so afraid of their escape. Zuko said it plainly. Any one of them can take down any bender. Put them together, they can take over the world before the bending, minus him. So, put that in perspective. We have to do this in a 4v sorry, Team Avatar versus Red Lotus setting because Aang is going to lose. Yes, Korra beat 3 out of the 4 people in the Avatar state, or rather she was fighting 3 out of the 4 in the Avatar state, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, so this stems from the fact that the Avatar state can get snuck up on because this is the only way I see this fight going. Like, he's not, there's no regular Aang beating 3 on 1. I'm sorry. Like, people take the Tenzin versus Zahir interaction and at face value, which is boosting Tenzin because Tenzin is a beast. But bro, he is going to lose that fight. If it's a focus 3 on 1, if it's a focus 4 on 1, if it's 5 on 1, like in this, he's just going to lose. So since we have to do this in the Avatar state, because the way I look at this fight, there's just certain things for certain fights that are not going to be added, and the energy bending is his best asset, like the ability to take bending away. His earth bending is going to give Gazan ammo. Any water bending he has is going to be thrown back at him or used for Minghua to absolutely ravage the battlefield. He Zahir's flight is going to give him so much trouble. Like, I don't think you guys understand what setting are we doing this in. Like, he has to strategically beat them one at a time because a group that is not happening, Avatar State or not. I'm sorry. These guys are too powerful. Yes, they got Korra in a weakened state, but they were able to get her. Like, you know, the protection from the White Lotus and the Metal Clan, and they still got the job done because they're not all just about power, they have brains. And honestly, they did a better job than Kuvira in terms of completing their objective. Like, they legitimately said, "We're going to get her. We will wait. Sure, let the public think we are scared. We're still going to get her," and they got her. Like, point blank period, they got her out of the most secure place ever. I don't see unless so Aang 1 on 1 against all of them. I give Aang all the edge. In fact, I think he beats them all 1 on 1. Yes, with the exception of Zahir with flight. I'm sorry, like Aang can't catch him, which is going to be the point. Like, how is he going to get him? The flight that Aang showed was actually pretty clever. Like, it was actually a impressive flight. How is he going to catch him though? All the others 1 on 1, sure, he could beat them, but as a group, he's losing. I'm just sorry, he's just losing that. And Zahir, who has a strong spiritual connection like he does and can fly, how is he catching him? You answer those 2 questions, you have my full attention. Provide any quotes you want. This is in my opinion, philosophically, like just metaphorically, this is going to be his hardest fight because he's going to. I don't understand. Like I'm not even going to give them the option of the metal poison because the metal poison is unfair. And then one thing I've just realized about this argument, the reason why the avatar state is not going to be a factor in most cases, this group specifically is the one group you don't want to do that against because the fact like they waited for Korra. No, sorry, Korra actually was smarter. She was so much more smarter than you realize. Not giving into the demands. They were like, go into the outside state. Show us what you got. they were confident about taking her out in that state, which was foolish, but they wanted that to happen so they can administer the poison. All it took was a few drops. It's all it took. So Aang would have to keep that in mind. Like statements, screw statements or his skill aside, he has to keep in mind if you're going to include all of their resources and like what they both have for each other, keep that in mind. They had an option and they wanted desperately for the Avatar to go into their most powerful state so they can end it all. So, like, you have to include 1v1, Aang beats them all, yes. And as a group, I think Team Avatar, Aang's group has the edge, but not by much. And I'm gonna be honest, it looks really scary for a lot of their members. Um, Katara beats Mingwa, yes. Toph versus Gazan is harder than you realize. I think Gazan actually wins that. I'm gonna be honest. Metal or Earth is just not going to be good to face this guy. I'm sorry. Pai Lee versus Zuko is not good either. We saw that old. I don't think he has anything for her young, so I give that to Minghua, my personal opinion. Zahir versus Aang with flight, bro. Y'all don't understand how powerful this is. Like there's nothing there's nothing just and he probably has a suffocation method, which Aang probably does have too. But like he has to take their bending away one at a time, separate them, divide them. If it's 1 on 4, and as a group, that's his chance. So I'll give him the win on this group here. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a specific win. Like it has to be specifically scenarios where he is Batman level prepping for this group because they are the most dangerous for him. Like straight up the rip, they're the most dangerous, and like they want you to go into the Avatar state. These other four would probably prefer if you avoided that, but this one person, this group would prefer you to go into the Avatar state. All right, I'm gonna go to Unavatu versus Amon because I have a personal controversial take about Amon versus Aang, but let's go to Unavatu. Let's switch back for a second. All right, Unavatu is a win for the Dark Avatar. 9 times out of 10, twice on Sunday. Um, no, the energy bending taking bending away. It's just not gonna work. It's like um, Aang has absolutely no counter to the soul, the water bending soul disruption or erasure technique. He has no counter. UNALOG boosted by the Dark Avatar. So, from my understandings, before I thought the Rava and Vatu spirits were equal. This probably just leads more credence to the fact that Vatu is stronger. It doesn't matter what core circumstances was happening. Vatu was able to boost him so much. She was using all three elements, all four in unison, and that gave her the edge. But he's still putting up a fight with just ice and water and spirit bending. Like it's so crazy. Like as a regular Unalak, I think loses badly, probably. Not probably. He loses badly, but when he's boosted by this dark avatar, man, I'm telling you, it doesn't look good for Aang at all. Like it does not. Like he's manipulative, he's cunning, he is very adaptable. People like to bash him because he does bring up Mufasa vibes. He likes to get you when you're not at your fullest mentally, your sharpest. That's fine. Aang has pretty much he has counters to a lot of his things, spirit wise, etc., etc. But again, the water spirit technique, even this is the part where, like for bloodbending, you can say, okay, he can consult somebody. Who is he going to consult about the spirit waterbending? Karuk. Like who is he going to consult? He doesn't have a counter. He has to learn it, which I believe Aang would be able to counter. I mean, learn. But if we're talking about like how many interactions is Unlock going to give him versus he just gets him in a position where he can do this the soul technique, and there won't be any Janora to help him break free. But people don't realize is, which I'll get into in a second, the fact that Korra's losing all these battles and had help, that shows you these people. You take the escalation ladder to 1,000. Like Aang's main threat was the Fire Lord at the time, and now it's then it was the Iron Spirit General, which was the Avatar state level threat, and now this new guy. We'll see how he stacks up, but like the new benders, they needed help because these people they're not ascension in the power ranking. They are master strategists. Like these people have planned for decades how to accomplish their goals. Like, and then Aang would probably deal with the opening of the. He would probably close the portals. He he would likely deal with the situation better than Korra did, but we're talking about a 1v1 here. There's nothing Aang can do once he reaches this state. You can debate a wall. Like unavatu, that stage, Aang is getting turned to dust, bro. And like, I'm sorry, he's getting turned to dust. Like Korra with her full elements and Cosmic Korra should be even, but she needed Janora. Like I don't, brother. And like we were only shown, I doubt that was Unavatu's full capabilities, but we were just shown a basic sample of his energy bending, which basically transcends everything. His tentacles, I we're given like a sample of what this guy can do, but sorry, I interrupted. We were given a sample, but you just someone has to explain to me, like, give me all of Aang's counters to this guy. Give me his counters, because he can't. To me, he cannot counter the spirit, the water soul erasure technique. He just can't. If he's caught in it, and like, how is Aang going to get the Aang's evasiveness? He is creative. He does like again. He has options and he has ways to escape Unavatu, but I just don't see him winning that. So right now, I have him with one win, one loss, and with Korra, it depends. If it's Kuvira, he wins, but if it's the mech, he's cooked like completely. So 1-1-1, one win, one loss, one draw. Now Amon, this is where I'm sorry to you fans, I'm going to disappoint a few people because I'm gonna take the statement of him being the strongest non-Avatar level, cosmic level threat to a new level, a little bit of glaze. One thing that I haven't seen is, so yes, this fight is a win for Aang in the conventional sense until I realized something. I'm like, wait, he also has the ability to take away bending. So if he gets even one opportunity on Aang, it's over. Like, can Aang reverse those effects? He cannot, to my understanding, if it's done on him. Obviously, they have to have a stronger spirit. There has to be a lot going into this, but if Amon gets a hold of him, is that not just game over? Like people are saying he can do the same to him. Well, okay. And then I do agree. Yes, he does counter his bloodbending, which is his biggest strategic defensive asset. But you know one thing you guys have forgot? One thing I think everyone's forgotten, including this guy, most people in the sub, Aang's going to get close, right? He has to get close to take away the bending. Can Amon do anything about that? No. You're right. Except you're wrong. I looked on the wiki. Amon is a expert chi blocker. I'm gonna say that again. He is an expert chi blocker. And people are saying that doesn't mean anything. That won't do anything. So I saw this guy. I'm a Takuga, Legend of Korra. Let me show you. This guy, right? Like this guy was able to shut down Korra's bending in like zero point 0.5 seconds. And the reason why I wanted to point him out or shout him out because I think he's gonna be. I think this is gonna be the next evolution in like how they make the villains stronger. These spirit humans who can't be blood bended and then having chi blocking abilities is actually pretty OP. Like a human which is basically turned into a super soldier with chi blocking abilities and has understanding of spirits themselves and they can't be corrupted by them, which is probably kind of crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. So this guy, who is probably the reason that Korra ended up destroying the world, or a big part of it, I assume, because we were never given why he was his ending. He's still out there, and he is very formidable. Um, this guy was able to shut down Korra. Amon, who has not only access to water bending, blood bending, he has access to these abilities too. Like he can chi block. He taught these chi blockers how to. So while I do believe this is a win for Aang 7 times out of 10, the 3 times that I think he loses or is a draw is because Amon has chi blocking abilities. And if he's able to pull it off, because he's quick, he's agile. He may not be as agile as Aang, but he's very agile and evasive. Like he's dodging lightning benders like it's nothing. Like come on. Oh, Aang has air. Yes, like that is the trump card here because air is a good counter to the chi blocking and the blood bending. But I have to give some credit to Amon. Like people don't take the title of strongest non-avatar state slash spirit entity seriously. Like he is so absurd that it takes characters like Unavatu, the Avatar State, Rava, and a guy like this to not be affected. Like you need to understand these three are evolutions in the game. For him to be ineffective, for two of his most strongest abilities to be ineffective, you need something like this. With that being said, if he does get a hold of Aang, I'm like, dude, okay. Again, I'm giving surface level arguments because I don't have a lot of the material in front of me, but like people are gonna explain to me like he has all these counters, he can do this and that. I'm like, for as quick as you say he can do this to other people, like if he gets a hold of him, I'm concerned that Aang is not gonna be able to bend anymore. If they will goad him into getting going to Avatar state, like he has no chance against this. I'm sorry, I don't see it. Now, that's my breakdown of it. I think this ends with one win against the Red Lotus, a horrible, absolute destruction against Unavatu, a tie because he wins against Kuvira, but he loses against that mech. Like he would need he would need more than just the Avatar state for that mech. I'm sorry. And Amon, y'all lucky I don't give the win to him, but I'm gonna give this a win to Aang. 6, 7 times out of 10. But I think Amon can beat him. I do. It's not cap to me. When you see he has, it's not he doesn't just have the chi blocking of this guy, which is who I think is would be really really formidable. Like he might. I'll explain why Toga could probably be stronger than Unavatu in a like a later date, but that's just my opinion. He has the tools. Like this is why Amon was originally stated by the fandom to feel like an end game villain. Like he is so crazy. He is absolutely crazy in terms of scaling. Like he has, in my opinion, I think the way the show got rid of him was probably the best because The only two ways you can get rid of him is the spirit world or just he got. Of course. That's my rant. This is my personal belief. Aang literally lost a Ham. You think he stands against Time Rock without the avatar? He's getting folded in 2 seconds. Like exactly. Like again, some people are aware of they're aware of it. But again, this is just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Comments below, and I'll gladly be responding to it and yada yada.